first speaker today is going to be Bishop Stephen Lane of the Episcopal Diocese of Maine. Bishop Lane.
Good morning. This past Sunday, the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released its assessment of the current Senate tax plan. The analysis is clear. The removal of the individual mandate provision from the Affordable Care Act will gravely affect Americans with the lowest incomes and result in higher premiums for us all. Middle and low-income families will spend more out of pocket for health care, which will greatly affect their ability to provide for their families. As a follower of Jesus and an Episcopal bishop, I take the example of my Lord Jesus to heart. I believe the moral measure of any tax structure is how the most needy among us, the least of these, fare in our society. And I encourage our Senators Susan Collins and Angus King to vote no on the Senate tax bill as it comes to a vote this week. I deeply appreciate Senator Collins' courageous and principled leadership in protecting access to affordable care in recent months, and urge her to stand fast in her conviction that matters of this importance deserve a transparent and thorough process. We know that in Maine, over the last 5 years, budget cuts have plunged poor children more deeply into poverty. Currently, the rate of children living in families with household incomes of less than $10,000 for 3 people is 8 times greater in Maine than in the rest of the country. With the passage of this plan and the elimination of the individual mandate, the dignity and rights of Mainers living in poverty will be further eroded, and it is projected that as many as 50,000 Mainers currently insured will lose access to health care by 2025. Many of our Maine neighbors will never be less old, less poor, or less rural. Access to health care is crucial to maintaining the quality of life in our rural communities. The tax plan under consideration will affect many self-employed people and owners of small family-based businesses. House cleaners, lobstermen, landscapers, all folks who've had access to health care for the first time. In other words, our neighbors, whom Jesus calls us to love as ourselves. We urge you, Senator Collins and Senator King, to stand up against a bill that would adversely affect the livelihood of millions of Americans and thousands of Mainers. Please be assured that you and your colleagues remain in our prayers as you engage in the important work of leading our nation. May God grace you with wisdom and strength to serve us all. Thank you.